And former Phoenix Magnet Elementary Principal John Grimes was in court today with Judge Patricia Koch presiding. Davion Telsey is here now with me in the studio and has more details on what happened in today's hearing. Davion?
That's right, Johnny. The trial was originally scheduled for September 25th of 2023 and was delayed until today, but instead a motion hearing was held. Grimes faces charges of cruelty to juveniles after the mother of a 4-year-old pre-K student came forward in 2021 with a complaint about an unauthorized corporal punishment, paddling. The mother went to Alexandria Police and told them she observed 2 hand-sized whips on the child's bottoms that were turning black and blue. Grimes was indicted in April of 2022. Today in court, Assistant DA Gary Reeks and Grimes attorney George Higgins came to a point of agreement not to release any information on the trial due to private records containing information that cannot release to the public until further review. The case was set to be continued without a date. A month after Grimes was indicted, the Rapides Parish School Board voted to eliminate corporal punishment, which has been in place since 1976. Johnny, back to you.